Global News Highlights, June 2, 2025. Geopolitics and conflict. Ukraine-Russia peace talks in Istanbul. Ukraine has proposed a 30-day unconditional ceasefire during negotiations in Istanbul, including the return of prisoners of war and abducted children, as well as a direct meeting between Presidents Zelensky and Putin. Russia rejected the offer, countering with a limited 2 to 3 day ceasefire for the retrieval of fallen soldiers. However, both parties agreed to exchange 1,000 prisoners and repatriate the remains of 6,000 soldiers. Ukraine submitted a list of 400 kidnapped children, and Russia has agreed to consider 10 of the cases. Escalation in Gaza conflict. The Israeli military has demolished over 240 residential buildings in Gaza in recent days. A dialysis center in northern Gaza was also destroyed. At least 54 people have been killed. Despite the violence, humanitarian aid continues. Over 18,500 food parcels were distributed in areas such as Rafah without incident. Natural events. Mount Etna eruption in Sicily. Italy's Mount Etna erupted on June 2, sending plumes of ash and smoke over Sicily. While Catania Airport raised its alert level, flights have not been suspended. Wildfires in Alberta, Canada. Wind conditions in Alberta dramatically shifted the spread of ongoing wildfires. Some evacuation plans were cancelled as the situation evolved. Premier Danielle Smith stated that the winds drastically changed fire behavior across the region. Economy and business. Global stock market slump. Global stock markets, including the U.S., have taken a hit due to escalating trade tensions between Washington and Beijing. Investors fear potential tariffs and sanctions that could impact global supply chains and economic growth. JDE Peet's launches share buyback. JDE Peet's, a major global coffee and tea company, announced a renewed share buyback program aimed at boosting investor confidence. Sports and society. Riots in Paris after PSG victory. Riots broke out in Paris following Paris Saint-Germain's UEFA Champions League victory. 2 people were killed, over 190 were injured, and more than 500 individuals were detained amid widespread unrest. Leo Campana called up to Ecuador national team. Leo Campana, striker for New England Revolution, has been called up to represent Ecuador in upcoming international matches. Science and technology. Breakthrough neurology research expected. This week, the medical community anticipates the release of key findings in the field of neurology, particularly related to treatments for neurodegenerative diseases.